I was the commander of Area 51.
My lives had never worked out there.
51구역은 세계에서 가장 유명한 비밀 군사기지입니다.
We did accept these conditions. Keep your mouth shut. Your lives or other lives depend on it.
51구역에 근무했던 사람들이 마침내 처음으로 입을 열었습니다.
There's been an awful lot of misinformation, but it's been fed by people's natural curiosity. If you don't know what's going on, you might like to find out.
The agency has never and will never ever admit there is an Area 51. End of story.
1955년 CIA가 미국의 비밀 군사 프로젝트를 개발하고 테스트하기 위해 만든 51구역은 지도상의 좌표에 따라 이름이 붙여졌습니다. 공식적으로는 존재하지 않지만 오늘날 네바다주 사막의 위성 이미지에는 7개의 활주로와 25개가 넘는 경납고가 보입니다. 베일에 쌓인 이 시설은 출입이 철저히 통제되죠. 하지만 그 시작이 됐던 초기 프로그램이 공개되면서 과거 관계자들이 하나둘 입을 열었습니다.
It was a real Cold War. You're talking nuclear bombs aimed at every major city, and it's like two people, who's going to throw the first punch?
There are a lot of times when democracy just has to give way to strict control like military so you can accomplish something that will allow for your country to survive. And that's the way we all thought about it, I think.
When we had a meeting, no pencil or paper was allowed. Even the pilots did not talk to each other because nothing was written down. It's all in our heads.
When we came into the program, we were given a code name. My first name was Ken, and the last name started with C for Collins, but it was Colmar, C-O-L-M-A-R.
At least with me, I'm not that curious, which I felt was good on the secrecy part of it. I mean, if I don't need to know it, I'm not going to ask.
I was told, don't bother ever trying to find your level of clearance. You've just been cleared by the highest groups in Washington, D.C. They have an apparatus to know what you're doing, what you're saying, where you're going.
그룸레이크로 알려진 건조한 호수 바닥에 기지가 세워진 것은 그만한 이점이 있어서였습니다.
Well, we needed a good place to land that we could land any direction depending on where the wind came from, and the Round Lake served that purpose. It was also protected with the mountain range around it, so it wasn't very visible.
Smooth as glass. Just unbelievable. I could take that staff car out there as fast as it'd go, and it wouldn't even make a bump. It was just beautiful.
Groom Lake was very sparse, very sparse. We had a bunch of trailers for us to live in. And we had a all-purpose building where you eat, didn't have TV, didn't even have a radio.
We didn't have any women there. There was one woman who was with the finance of CIA that came up there and spent one night. That's the only one I ever knew of.
Paradise Ranch was the first name that was given to the establishment. They thought it would soften the blow of the austerity. It was an attempt to perhaps convince people it wasn't quite as bad as it looked.
I think the charm of Area 51 is it just had one job to do, and anybody that wasn't needed didn't go there, probably didn't want to go there, because, you know, it wasn't that grand a vacation spot. Pretty tough duty.
CIA는 특정한 자격을 갖춘 요원만을 51구역에 파견했습니다.
But we kind of self-selected to be quiet warriors. The security screening tended to eliminate a fair number of people who were kind of show-offs.
I was in for my first secrecy clearance, and I went to a movie while my wife went shopping with my mother. I'm in the middle of the movie. In walks this lady, young girl about my age. And in the middle of the movie, asked me if I live in Vegas, how long I've been in Vegas, and what do I do? She didn't like my answers. Within a half an hour, she got up and left. And I often thought, how long had she been following me? Or was she following me? Or was she just one of the Las Vegas girls looking for a customer? I'll never know.
We were not told what it was going to be. We had no idea.
We were just told it is extremely sensitive and it's not to be discussed with anybody.
면접은 호텔 방에서 진행됐습니다.
This guy had passed everything. So then they asked him, we got a black project back west we'd like for you to work on. Would you be interested? And I said, well, I need to run that by my wife. They said, okay, do that. When he got back to the motel room, they were gone. They packed up and left. He never saw him again. The fact that he had to ask his wife whether or not he could work on a secret project killed him right there. He was not invited back.
(51구역은) 이른바 아쿠아톤이라는 1급 기밀 프로젝트를 위해 세워졌습니다. 1955년 CIA와 공군, 록히드사의 비밀부서 요원들이 파라다이스 렌치에 도착해 임무를 시작합니다.
All they would tell us, you really were going to volunteer for a pig in a poke. And most of the people didn't take it, but I did. And we knew we had to go for pressure suit, so we knew it was going to be high altitude stuff. Your blood boils above 50,000 without having pressurization. So if you were to lose pressurization, just your engine conk out and you're above 50, that suit saves you.
They selected a manufacturer in Boston that made the suits up to order.
They had to be tailor-made, skin tight. So we went to David Clark, who made brassieres for Sears, I remember.
We were fitted, came home, and we went back and fitted again after it was made. And couldn't tell them, you know, who we were or what we were doing. Just, we need a pressure suit.
When pilots fly higher than man has ever flown, equipment changes are necessary.
최근에 공개된 이 영상은 레이 가우디가 51구역 내에서 비행을 준비하고 있는 모습입니다.
The modified MA-2 partial pressure suits are personally fitted for each pilot. A loss of only 2 pounds in the pilot's weight could make the suit ineffective.
기상천외한 조종사들의 모습 때문에 51구역에 대한 근거 없는 소문이 나돌기 시작했습니다.
was so secret I didn't know what it was until I got there and wondered what I got myself into.
People on the project didn't know everything. You know, the mechanics, for instance, didn't know what we were doing in the air. That's how secret it was. We don't keep anything out. When we land, it goes right in the hangar.
이들은 냉전 당시 가장 중요한 무기를 테스트하고 있었죠. 바로 U-2 정찰기입니다.
There was no trainer, there was no two-seater, there was no simulator.
U-2 정찰기는 고성능 카메라를 장착하고 2만 1000m 상공을 비행하며 성층권 밖에서 사진을 촬영합니다. 구소련과의 냉전으로 군비 확장 경쟁이 심화되면서 U-2 정찰기는 미국이 적의 핵무기 증산을 추적하는 최적의 수단이었습니다. 그러나 이런 고도에서 호흡을 해야 하는 조종사들이 겪는 어려움은 컸죠.
I'm sure that some people were excited because they get sweaty, but I didn't. I could sleep or I could read a book or think about what I was going to be doing because some of the missions were, you know, not simple. You had to fly a certain way to get things done.
바퀴처럼 하중을 증가시키는 부품은 U-2 정찰기의 고공비행에 방해가 됐습니다.
You got all your fuel in the wing. There's no way you're going to keep that tip off the ground. So they were only there to keep the wings off the ground. And as soon as the wings lifted up, those would drop out. I used to like to take off, just spiral right up straight.
정부는 U-2 정찰기를 기상관측용으로 위장했습니다.
That was our cover story. Yeah, reconnaissance weather squadron.
If not conventional aircraft, then what did they see?
U-2 정찰기는 일반 여객기보다 3배나 높이 날았지만 민간인들에게 목격되기도 했습니다.
I can't be sure, but I believe I saw the sun glinting off of windows or observation portholes of sort.
1950년대 중반, 냉전과 UFO에 대한 미국인의 관심이 절정에 달했을 때
I think it was from outer space, but friendly.
은빛 비행 물체는 가끔 착각을 불러일으켰습니다.
It was pure aluminum, and we said, "Hey, we look like a bright star up there."
조종사들은 심지어 항공 관제사들에게까지 모든 사실을 숨겨야 했죠.
There are stories about seeing something flying way above. They may have called it in, but they'll still get nothing other than evasive stuff.
If you get up along the Canadian border, the ground controller questioned my altitude. Actually, he was pretty accurate. And I says, no, you got to recalibrate your weapon. That's not the altitude we're at.
1957년까지 보고된 UFO 목격담의 절반은 U-2 정찰기의 비공식 비행 때문이었습니다. 하지만 다가올 일에 비하면 그것은 아무것도 아니었죠. (50일) 구역은 너무 외딴 곳이라 근무자들은 대부분 버뱅크나 라스베이거스에서 매주 통근을 했습니다.
Usually, the family was asleep when I got up. And Monday morning, you'd get up and drive, and you got there early enough to get the airplane, and it usually left about 8 o'clock.
We never even knew how we were going to get out there. We often joke. One week they're flying with bombs, the next week they're flying with chickens. You never knew what was in the cargo bay of that plane that you were hitching a ride on.
When you got off of the Lockheed Constellation, you went through security and they checked. You had to have your badge and make sure that you're the right guy coming in, and they did that routinely. They had very, very good security.
짐 프리드먼은 매일 통근했습니다.
I had 3 children, and the typical, what does your dad do at school? I told them I repair televisions. And My wife, she was so busy raising the children and getting them ready for school that she really wasn't that interested because she knew I played around with television a lot.
He was fine. We had a good life. Even though sometimes he didn't come home for maybe a week, but he called, you know, and I said Daddy had to work overtime. The kids, especially my daughter, she says, "Where's Daddy? He had to work overtime." Oh, so I didn't know what he did.
It's a strange daily routine. You go home at night, the wife says, "How did your day go today?" And you're non-committal. It wasn't bad. I got a few TVs fixed. I mean, no one is going to say, "Oh, honey, we just got the radar cross-section of the most secret aircraft in the world down to a gnat's behind." Yeah, right. Sure, now what did you do today? Nothing. You can't even talk about it.
Let us face, without panic, the reality of our times. The fact that atom bombs may someday be dropped on our cities.
이처럼 철저한 보안 정책은 냉전에 의한 피해 망상과 구소련의 공격에 대한 미국인들의 두려움에서 비롯된 것이었죠.
Each side was suspicious of the other, and they were afraid they were going to be wiped out by a nuclear first strike.
누구도 믿을 수 없었습니다. 51구역의 테스트 파일럿들도 예외가 아니었죠. 1963년 켄 콜린스는 훈련 중 비행기 추락 사고를 일으킵니다.
Probably a week later, they said, "Well, okay, would you agree to be hypnotized so we can establish whether or not you may have forgotten something?" And I said, "Absolutely." So they got this, my term, high-powered shrink from Boston come out, but he couldn't hypnotize me. It just sort of sit there like, you know, he was talking to me like you were, and I thought, I'm just still just as like I'm always been, and he just couldn't do it. It just didn't happen. A few days later, Lockheed's flight surgeon called me up and he says, "Well, would you agree to have sodium pentothal?" And I says, "Yeah." I said, "I'd be happy to do that." I told my wife, I said, "Well, I'm going down to Lockheed. I have to go to work." She said, "This is Sunday. You never go to work on Sunday." And I said, "Well, this is special." And she said, "Okay." About 6 o'clock that night, these guys bring me home. Well, I'm still under the influence of the sodium pentothal. And they pour me in the chair in the living room and said goodbye and walked out. And that's all they said. My wife, they didn't say a word to her. Said, "Your car's here," gives the keys. And she was sort of irritated because she thought I was out drinking with the guys. But all in all, at the end of it, it established that what I said was everything that I'd told them was factual.
When such a bomb bursts at or near the ground, tens of thousands of tons of earth and debris.
경쟁적으로 보다 강력한 무기를 개발하던 미국 정부는 핵실험장 옆에 비밀기지 51구역을 조성하게 됩니다.
Becomes a floating carriage. Put on your guns.
It was smack dab in the middle of the nuclear test facility area up in Nevada. And nobody was anxious to go out there. And I think that privacy was very important to getting the job done and doing so in a good deal of secrecy.
하지만 1955년과 1968년 사이에 450번 이상의 핵폭발이 있었던 그곳은 자체적인 문제점이 있었습니다.
When they were firing nuclear explosions there, of course we're always notified and we have to evacuate. One time it took almost 2 weeks because of weather, mostly winds and all that being wrong.
And we had to wear radiation badges to make sure we were still clean. I was standing out on the runway for some reason, and there was a blast coming off in Yucca Flats, and I actually saw a wave pattern in the ground coming towards me. It actually went up and down, up and down. This was an underground explosion. It's just unbelievable that these big circles would actually drop down on the ground.
냉전의 압박에 시달리던 미국은 51구역의 최초 프로젝트 U-2 정찰기가 벌써 구소련 미사일에 타깃이 된 게 아닌지 걱정했죠.
The plan was to have a manned aircraft successor to the U-2 with far less vulnerability and with greater capability. Very few people at the agency at CIA knew about it.
(1950년대) 말 51구역에 새로운 1급 기밀 프로젝트가 부여됩니다.
I started in 1958 working on what was called ox cart.
About 1960, I was notified that I had been selected for some kind of astronaut program.
It was an aircraft that we proposed to the CIA that would fly at very high altitudes, about 17 miles up. The original intent was to make it go as fast and as high as we could make it, and as difficult for radars to detect as possible.
We were going so fast. If you're in California, you're flying north-south, and you're making a turn at speed, at altitude, you won't stay in the state of California. It was that fast that just brought you out.
냉전 당시 정부는 무기만큼 강력한 힘을 발휘했죠. 미국이 설계하던 최고의 첩보 장비 옥스카트는 세계 최초의 스텔스기로 미사일을 따돌릴 만큼 높고 빠르게 날았습니다. 버뱅크의 로키드사 건물에서 수천 명이 비행기 제작에 심혈을 기울였습니다. 하지만 그 규모에도 불구하고 프로젝트는 비밀에 붙여졌습니다.
The ox cart clearance was specialty clearance of its own, and it was about as high as you could get.
The aircraft had to have the ability to withstand temperatures caused by air friction flying through the atmosphere at 2,000 miles an hour.
The ox cart, 93% was titanium, a material that no one had ever made an airplane of. If you want a lot of titanium, you make a deal with the Soviet Union.
How the CIA got that stuff out of Russia, as far as I know, is still secret today. I don't know how they did it. I don't know who did it. But we did get the titanium material that we needed.
일단 옥스카트의 원형이 완성되자 정부는 그것을 캘리포니아주의 생산 라인에서 51구역으로 옮기고자 했습니다.
If it was round, they would put it in a square box. If it was square, they'd put it in a round box.
It was too long, and the wings were too broad, so the sections were separated and hauled all the way from Burbank to the Groom Lake side.
You don't want a wide trailer going down a busy highway. So you would do this surreptitiously when no one's around.
It required cooperation from California Highway Patrol and Nevada Highway Patrol, the CIA, and I have no idea how many others. The path up there had to be cleared. They had to cut trees away, regrade the dirt on the sides of the freeway so that they could clear the boxes. They didn't have to know what was in the boxes, but they had to know it was something that had to be protected and kept secret. So it was a rather enormous operation just to get them up there to the Groom Lake facility.
콜린스는 51구역에 도착한 옥스카트를 처음 본 조종사들 중 한 명이었습니다.
I went up to the area. The operations officer up there said, "Would you like to see what you're going to fly?" I said, "Absolutely." And we walked over to the hangar, and windows up top were just the only place that emitted any light. And you could see back in the shadows this long, beautiful airplane. Just amazing. First thing you'd think is a spaceship.
(51구역) 내에서 일하던 2,000명의 유일한 목표는 궁극의 비밀 프로젝트를 완수하는 것이었죠.
There's a lot of things that people really don't need to know. And this is why Area 51 is such a mythical situation, because they don't know what's going on.
Area 51 just had one purpose, and that was to get Oxcart through development and into operation overseas.
옥스카트 관련 정보는 수십 년간 기밀에 붙여졌고 오히려 세상에 더 알려진 것은 유명한 후속기종 SR-71 블랙버드였습니다. 하지만 마침내 옥스카트의 모습이 세상에 공개됐습니다. 옥스카트는 세계 최초의 스텔스기로 적의 레이더에 포착되지 않을 만큼 빠른 속도로 비행합니다.
The test that I was involved in involved an Oxcart flying over that radar station. And the basic idea was to find out if they could fly over without being detected. I went into the radar control building to watch what would happen when the thing went over. Well, I was standing there and nobody could see much happening. All of a sudden, it sounded like a ladder or something fell over on the roof. What it was a shock wave from the airplane. They had not seen it on the radars. It certainly seemed like it was doing its job.
옥스카트는 70분 만에 미 대륙을 횡단할 수 있지만 그 유일한 목적은 첩보 활동이었습니다. 북한 상공에서 촬영된 이 사진들은 CIA가 최초로 공개하는 것입니다. 옥스카트가 27,000m 상공에서 시속 3,500km로 비행하면서 촬영했다는 것을 믿기 힘들 정도로 선명한 화질을 보여줍니다.
This camera was going in an airplane that was going to be going at Mach 3. The resolution was 12 inches, that's 1 foot. If you think about an object on the ground and put a grid on it with 12-inch squares, a little bit like linoleum squares. And each one of those squares is either black or white or gray. An object that was 12 inches on a side could be clearly identified as an object, although you couldn't tell what its internal structure was. But if you're taking a picture of a tank, you probably get, 500 dots, and that pretty well defines the tank.
하지만 냉전의 절정에서 강력한 카메라를 보유한 것은 51구역만이 아니었죠.
The Russians had anywhere from 4 to 6 what we called ash cans.
We had a satellite tracking setup, and we were alerted to the time when the satellite was supposed to pass over.
So as they were approaching our area, we would shut everything down.
We had hoot scoot sheds, we called them. And if a plane happened to be out in the open while the satellite was coming over the horizon, they would scoot it into that building.
스텔스 기능을 테스트하기 위해 가끔 옥스카트의 모형을 철탑 위에 설치하기도 했는데 구소련의 첩보 위성 때문에 한 가지 문제가 생깁니다.
If you had a plane up on a pylon, it was pretty hard to disguise it from satellites. There were people in the security department that felt that we couldn't let them have a peek.
So we had no way of handling the situation but taking the mock-up down off of the pole, putting it away in a hangar, and then taking it back out and putting it back up.
That made the job very difficult, very difficult. To start working on the aircraft and then have to run it back into the hangar. And then pull it out, and then put it in, and then pull it out. It gets to be quite a hassle.
비밀 항공기를 숨기려는 노력에도 불구하고 첩보원들에 의해 구소련이 옥스커트의 설계 도면을 입수해 탐지 방법을 찾아냈다는 사실이 밝혀집니다.
Most of the testing that we did in the daylight, radiation from the sun would heat up everything except the shadow. If we left the mock-up stationary for a half an hour or so, it might leave a shadow that an infrared camera could pick up.
얼마 후 51구역에서는 의도적으로 가짜 비행기를 만들어 구소련 위성을 속이기 시작합니다.
We used the infrared satellites for coming over, and we would draw the outline of some kind of exotic plane in front of one of the hangars. Most of them was out of cardboard. Just before the satellite got there, we'd have a couple of heaters in the rear end of it to make it receive a heat signature as though the plane had just landed. We always wanted them to think we had something that they didn't. And they would sure spend a lot of time and money to try to figure out what it was.
In Washington, ghost-like objects dart across the radar screen.
옥스커트를 보호하려던 김한 전술이 51구역에 대한 소문을 증폭시켰죠.
Air Force jet fighters spend several hours chasing the objects plotted on the radar scope.
We flew 2,850 missions out of Groom Lake, Area 51, that no one knew about. The plane did not exist. And naturally, the sunlight just right, it would be spotted, and it would become a genuine UFO sighting.
General Sanford, Air Force Intelligence Director, confirms that the objects are not secret American weapons and reiterates the Air Force's obligation to investigate.
This was during the era that the Air Force was doing Project Blue Book, investigating UFO sightings. They started investigating, and all of a sudden they'd run up there against this wall of security. They said, whoa, that's a top secret mission. You got to make a cover story and forget it happened.
We have received and analyzed between 1,000 and 2,000 reports.
So Project Blue Book, the poor guys, they would have to manufacture a story to explain that sighting.
With all due respect to the Air Force, I believe that some of them will prove to be of interplanetary origin.
Air traffic controllers at the FAA had to be cautioned not to report something moving that fast in American airspace for fear of alarming people.
Airline pilots were a big troublemaker. They would see that blackbird climbing. They'd be at 80,000 feet and the airlines were at 45. And they would call down and say, you know, they'd be yelling over the air. But they'd see them. And the passengers would see them. The FBI would meet them at whatever airport they were landing at. And they just make them sign an inadvertent exposure that they wouldn't reveal what they had just seen.
하지만 51구역에서 일이 크게 잘못되자 위장 장비가 전면에 나서게 됩니다. 옥스커트가 비밀에 둘러싸여 있었음에도 불구하고 수십 년 후 초기의 사고로 인한 단서들이 나타나기 시작합니다.
It was low altitude subsonic engine test. We had problems with getting the engine to accelerate out to Mach 3. We flew north out of the area and got up to 25,000 feet, headed south, and we started getting into the weather. Something just wasn't feeling right. It was losing airspeed, but it wasn't indicated. Pretty soon, the airplane pitched up, went up, got inverted, and went into a flat, insipid spin. You just can't recover. So I thought I better eject. So I ejected down because I was upside down.
Ken made the right decision and punched out.
What entered my mind over then was I hate like hell to, have to bail out of that good airplane.
He landed somewhere out near Wendover, Utah.
I landed and collapsed the chute. I figured I was going to need that because I was going to probably be out there overnight and for survival, and I would use that to sleep in. My checklist had come apart, and I was starting to look and picking up some of the pages that are all classified and stamped secret. The papers that I had picked up, I just stuck in my pocket, I guess. When a pickup truck come bouncing over across the desert, 3 guys were in the truck. Well, I was amazed to see them. They said, hey, come on, get in there. We'll take you over to your airplane. And I said, no, that's an F-105, and that was our story that we had. I said, it's got a nuclear weapon on board. They said, you better get in here. We're leaving. We're not going to stay. So I jumped in front with them. In the front, there were 4 of us in the cab. I don't know where they thought they were going to go. If a bomb went off, it's probably close enough. It wouldn't have made any difference.
After Collins' admonition, after his white lie, I don't think they were very anxious to go take a hard look at it.
We did have a phone number that we called, emergency kind of thing, and I made a 10-cent call. Identified myself, and that's all they needed to know, and I told them where I was.
That gave the agency about 2 days to go out and scrape up the pieces and clean up the mess. Otherwise, it might have been a county fair.
정부가 추락 현장을 정리하는 작업 사진을 공개한 것은 이번이 처음이죠.
They had 2 of our survival guys that were part of the security team, and later on they got on 2 horseback, and they'd go back and forth and sort of plowshare it to see if they got anything that was left laying there that was classified.
추락 현장이 멀었고 정리 작업이 확실했던 덕분에 추락 현장은 수십 년 동안 비밀에 붙여질 수 있었습니다.
It was described as having been an F-105 crash. Planes crash all the time around military bases, and it went away.
50년 후 항공우주사학자 피터 멀린이 정부가 역사에서 지우려고 했던 추락 현장을 찾아냅니다.
Now we're getting into the real debris field. As part of the effort to sanitize the crash site, the larger pieces were cut up with a blowtorch and flown to Area 51 in a big cargo plane.
그는 공개된 문서를 바탕으로 몇 년 동안 사막을 수색했습니다.
This secret memorandum was declassified by the CIA. It says all traces of 123 have been removed from the crash scene. My experience with crash sites, however, is that there's always something left. This piece here is part of the wing structure. The A was for the A-12, W for wing, and 667 was the drawing number. This one's from the interior of the cockpit, Skunk Works inspection stamp. This is the impact crater. There's titanium all over the place. Whoa, here's a big chunk. This is some thick titanium. Right here is where the aft fuselage struck the ground. On either side, you'll find a depression from the engine nacelles. There's one right here. I'm standing in the middle of an engine nacelle depression. This would be similar to what would happen today if a secret aircraft from Area 51 were to be lost off range. They would probably implement the same kind of security restrictions. They would also use a cover story.
오늘날의 라스베이거스 맥캐런 국제공항. 신원을 알 수 없는 비행기들을 위한 전용 경납고입니다. 평일이면 U2 정찰기와 옥스카트 시절 이래 별로 달라진 게 없는 모습의 출근 행렬이 이어집니다. 이 초기 프로그램 때문에 51구역은 미국 비밀 프로젝트의 영원한 본거지가 됐죠.
But you go back and look at all the records. There's never been a flight at Groom Lake. Nothing that was as it seems.
미스터리는 오늘날까지 계속됩니다. 연간 군 기밀 예산은 약 580억 달러를 넘어서 미국 역사상 최고를 기록했습니다. 하지만 51구역을 위해 많은 희생을 한 이들조차 더 이상 비밀을 지키려 하지 않습니다.
I wish I knew what they were doing, but I don't know. I've even heard that Area 51 is a cover story for a much more secret area. I don't know, I can't confirm that either. I have no idea. I wish I knew.
비밀은 끊임없이 소문을 양산하고 있습니다.
There are a lot of situations people cannot know that they're not true. So I think that there's been an awful lot of misinformation, but it's been fed by people's natural curiosity. If you don't know what's going on, you might like to find out.
때론 터무니없는 추측에 진실의 실마리가 담겨 있기도 하죠.
They have all these underground chambers they claim we got out there and tunnels that reach all the way to Las Vegas. And this is, absolutely nothing like that. At the nuclear test stand, we did go underground because above ground it was radioactive. But nothing at the area. And another myth has been in recent years that we have gained all this speed and technology out of the reverse engineering alien craft. This is the true story. We did reverse engineer things out there. It was a Russian MiG-21. And we got it in 1968, and we tore it apart to see how the Russians built it, and then put it back together, and we flew it.
심지어 정부가 51구역에서 달 착륙을 연출했다는 음모설이 있는데 미약하지만 근거도 있습니다.
It was on the atomic testing grounds. We tested our land rover that we sent to the moon. We tested all of the life support systems. The astronauts came out here and trained in the atomic bomb craters. So that's probably where some of those crazy stories come from.
I think when people signed on to Oxcart or U2, they agreed that it might never be revealed. And so people said, hey, look, it's kind of a family secret. We're happy to go to the grave with it.
It was an honor, very much an honor to have a job with that much trust put in me as you might say, a country boy. A lot of trust was put on people like me that worked out there.
A lot of people dedicated their lives. Some families broke up because they never knew what their husbands, if their husbands were going to come home at night. It wasn't just a job.
We were given some task to accomplish, and we believed in it, and we did the best we could. I'm just glad it turned out the way it did.
하지만 분명한 사실 한 가지는 51구역에서 무슨 일이 있었는지 우리가 그 모든 내막을 알 수는 없다는 것입니다.
I'm telling you about 5% of what went on.
I've only told you part of the story, seriously. I have to be honest.